Hello everybody and welcome to my Warcraft Rumble deck showcase. Today what I have for you is a Sylvanas deck for all of you trying to climb all the way up to silver and beyond. So let's get into the deck overview. First off, our hero is obviously Sylvanas. Those of you that have bought the Sylvanas pack like myself, you get her right away and you get her pretty boosted up on the levels. As a note, you probably see that I have quite a few high levels. This will not matter for you until you reach rank 3000 on specifically Sylvanas. Let me just go over that very quickly for you all. So if we go to PvP here, as it says, there's a level cap up until combat level 3000, and this is not your total combat cap. As you can see, I'm 4200. It's specific for your heroes. So even after I've been grinding this game out, my Sylvanas is only at 2700, so I still have not breached the level cap, and everything is at 5. Or maybe 4, but honestly that's not really going to matter too much until you really break through, because level 19 is a big difference from 5. But anyway, let's get into the units. Sylvanas herself is an incredibly powerful backline DPS who can single-handedly take out hordes of enemies, but also does really well into single target matchups because of her passive, which is that when she dies, she turns into, where is it? Why does it not say that anywhere? It doesn't say it anywhere, but when Sylvanas dies, she turns into one of these, a Banshee. And what a Banshee does is it possesses a unit. And when it possesses it, it just turns it to your side, which is really nice. Banshee is a bit better than the Sylvanas Banshee because you can get a trait with it. I don't know what they're exactly called, but still very powerful. As you can see here, she has single target damage. It does really good into aerial units. Here's a very good example. Dies right here to the Rend, but then turns into a Banshee and just takes him over. Huge. Her talents available are Black Arrow, Banshee's Wail, and Forsaken Fury. Banshee's Wail seems pretty not great, to be honest. I feel like you don't really want to drop 6 mana into an area just to die for a stun, even if it gets a couple of hits off first. Forsaken Fury I don't have and I haven't tried, and I feel like it would be pretty good overall, but I think Black Arrow is insanely powerful. First, it does a line, which is huge AoE clear, and I think it turns it to elemental damage as opposed to just physical. And for those who don't know, physical damage does not go through armor. Armored units, there's quite a few in the game, take half damage, and elemental just completely ignores that. So if you can, get Black Arrow on Sylvanas ASAP. As another note, all undead and horde minions gain move speed near her, which is pretty nice. It's not bad. You will appreciate it. So let's get into the units. I think there are a couple of very important mainstay units, and there are some things that are very easy to swap out. First off, as her horde pick, because she has a horde slot, which gives bonus levels, I think the Darkspear Troll is a very strong unit that you can pretty much put into any deck that needs a horde unit. It's only 3 mana, it's very cheap, it's very versatile. Because it's cheap, it is great into aerial units, takes out literally any aerial unit up against it, and it's ranged, so cheap for cycle, good single target DPS, great against aerial stuff. As a note, for the talents, I think I have the best one, which is to regenerate 20 health per second. This is incredibly handy for winning certain trades that the Darkspear Troll would otherwise just die in. I think poison is a very big bait on any unit. Do not get this if you can. I have not tried headhunting, but it doesn't sound too bad against bigger, small hordes rather than the single target. But definitely think Big Bad Voodoo is what you want to get on him if you can. Next up, another mainstay is, of course, the Necromancer. So, for those of you wondering, I pretty much am only playing a Sylvanas deck because I like the aesthetic of it. I don't think it's particularly super meta defining. I don't run into other Sylvanases too much. I just want to play Necromancer and have Sylvanas. And Necromancer is very good. What he does is he summons skeletons. We can do a little showcase here, and does elemental damage, high DPS on his shots. Very powerful unit. There's elemental again that pierces through armor. Good single target, summon skeletons. For talents, I think Cult of the Damned is not too bad. What it does is basically if you kill a unit, summons a skeleton. This does really well into small hordes because it will build up a huge amount of skeletons. As a note, the Necromancer is capped at 2 per summon, but with this you can break the cap. I think Jeweled Skulls is probably his best talent, which it summons mages instead of just regular skeletons. Skeleton mages are much stronger than regular skeletons. They have a slowing effect on frost, and they allow him to kind of beat Stitches in the 1-in-1 matchup, which he otherwise does not do. Breath of the Dying is probably his worst talent. 5 extra skeletons on Necromancer Death is honestly not very useful compared to his other talents. It's not bad if it's all you got, but I definitely go for the other 2 if available. And next up, I personally think that Skeleton Party is a mainstay in this deck as well. It is the most flexible of the 4 mainstay, but I haven't swapped it out since putting it in. But I will admit, I mostly keep it around because of my preferred playstyle and because I have this talent, Ritual of the Rime. So what Skeleton Party generally does is it's unbound, so you can place it anywhere. It just summons 5 skeletons, 2 mages, 2 melee. They're alright, they do decent damage as you can see. Not too bad against crossbow turrets, which are, I think, less than half the HP of the main turret. Did they beat it here? Yeah, they even beat it here. It's not bad. Talents available, 5-man. This is a really good one. I see it pretty often on more aggro-based decks. It summons a tank, a rogue, a priest, and 2 mages. So the rogue has ambush, the priest heals, the tank is tankier, I think it's armored, and the mages are the mages. Corpse Run I don't think I've ever seen, and I don't think it's very good. It's just, you get 1 extra skeleton after deploying it each time, up to 3 more, so... Oh, not even more skeletons, sorry, it's just ups the level, so just slightly boost the stats on the skeletons, but the skeleton's already so low stats, it's going to boost the damage a bit a little, and maybe push the health above a threshold, but likely not. I think this is a terrible talent. And finally, Ritual of the Rime, which completely changes the way the spell works because it summons 5 mages who do not move. The mages are ranged, they have frost, so they will guard a position. They can take down pretty well into most matchups, which we'll go over in some of the gameplay. And again, this is tradable if you don't have Ritual Rime or you don't like the playstyle. This is just a personal preference. Finally, the next 2 tradable slots are the Banshee. What Banshee does is, if we just look at the video, possesses a unit, charges at him, it can die during that charge. It's very low health as well, so some range units will just beat it before the charge goes through, but any beefy melee tank guy is getting possessed 9 out of 10 times. Works really good against flyers too. For talents, Soul Possession, Detonate on Death, really good. Don't have it, but I can tell you for sure it's going to be good. Unholy Frenzy, Bloodlust for 10 seconds, also not bad. Finally, Will of Necropolis, fully heal a possessed target, also not bad. I've had many cases where Banshee just jumps into a 1 health target, and before I had this talent, I just have a unit that dies instantly, and that's basically 4 gold down the drain because Banshee had a bad target. But hey, with this, it's a lot easier, it's safer to just drop a Banshee, assuming he doesn't die, to get your value out of it. All of them are good talents. I don't think there's a bad one. Pick whatever you like the most. I only use Will of Necropolis because I have it. I think Soul Eruption might be better. Probably not, actually. Maybe Unholy Frenzy. I don't know. All are good. I like Will of Necropolis. I'm a bit biased because that's all I got. So Banshee is the first tradable unit. It does well into some matchups, terrible into others. Next up, Abomination. I call him Stitches, but he's the Abomination. Abomination is a very powerful 6-drop. He has Cleave, so he does great into area effect, or great into large area, units, as well as a Pull, which is very unique to him, which is that he pulls ranged targets into melee range. This beats up a lot of matchups that are really tough for this deck. I also like that he's Selunu. Great card, but he's really expensive and really slow, and he dies to range. 1 Dragon Whelp, Harpy Swarm, whatever it is, kills Abomination, no issues, if you drop him without backup. And 6 mana, if you drop him as like a defense unit or something and they counter you, you're just kind of done. It's very unfortunate. But if you drop him at a good time, he does a lot of work. For talents, you have Noxious Presence, Cannonball, and Fresh Meat. Noxious Presence adds poison in an area. It's not terrible, but I think that might be his actual worst talent. Cannonball is great as a defensive drop in your towers because it stuns everything for 5 seconds, which is insane. And it works when he's at 50% health. So when a push, something knocks him low, stuns everything around him. It's a pretty decent area. And finally, Fresh Meat. After hooking a target, deal double damage on the next attack. I think, this is probably the best one because the double damage still applies into Cleave as well. So usually you'll be in melee range. You hook a guy closer to you and then you hit everybody for double damage. It's pretty big. He has a solid damage stat, just low DPS because attack speed is slow. As a note, Fresh Meat also just works at killing a lone range target because it'll just probably kill him in 1 hit instead of the 2. Very strong card, but is very expensive. For tradable cards, I think if you want to, Cheat Death works well because if you're getting Blizzard or the little mini rocket, whatchamacall, you can put it on your a Sylvanas or Necromancer saves him from either. I think Gargoyle is a good pickup as well. If you really want to have a little bit of more offensive push, I don't think it's too necessary, but it's a good card. Gargoyles are very powerful. If any of you guys have played Clash Royale, it's basically like a balloon. If it gets to the enemy base, it will just kind of solo it. It's very ridiculous, but it's super slow. It is kind of tanky too, so it's just a frontliner as well. And then finally, Ghoul. Ghoul is a great card. It's cheap, it's efficient, it stands out to medium-sized hordes because it has a decent health pool and it heals, but sometimes it just drops and dies for nothing. Plague Farmer is also good, as well as Skeletons. Stay away from Meadwagon. This is a bad unit as far as I can tell, and I've never seen anyone run it for the same reason. For non-undead cards, I think Huntress is viable in any deck. It's an extremely powerful card. And finally, my least favorite card in the entire game, because of just how stupidly broken I think it is. The Safe Pilot is so powerful. It's so powerful. Even without talents, it's really good. With its talents, it's insane. Either Coming in Hot or Gnomish Cloaking Device are insane on this unit. I think Gnomish Weaponizer is worthless. But yeah, those are good trade cards if you want to swap them out during the deck. I've experimented with Ghoul mostly, and a bit of Cheat Death when I kept losing to aggro decks, but I've kind of conceded that this deck will never beat a Maiev or old Murkeye deck that kind of just takes control of the map early. You do not recover very well if the opponent gets the gold advantage, but you're very good at getting that gold advantage early and then just snowballing. So, as you'll see in the next coming games, this deck does extremely well into mid-range decks or late-game decks. Anything that literally doesn't just try to end the game in the first 5 seconds by taking all the resource nodes, this deck has a favorable matchup against, in my experience. So, any Kayn, Bloodhoof decks, any Tyrion decks, it even does well into the Baron Rivendare decks, and basically any weird or off-meta decks you might run up against, it'll do fine into as well. Sneed's decks, it's great. Thrall whoops them. The concern Rend is a bit of an issue sometimes, but honestly, when you kind of learn the matchups, this deck will also just run over Rend decks as well. So try it out if you bought the Sylvanas pack. Again, my units are super high level, but I still haven't even gotten a chance to use them just because I haven't breached that 3,000 cap limit. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you like the deck. See you guys next time. Alright, we have found a match here. Let's see what we're gonna be up against. Don't be aggro. Okay, this is aggro, but I think it's one of the matchups we can win. It's very doomed against the Maiev version, but this one is a chance, especially when it's looking like this. We'll drop our skeleton that's up here. This is one of my favorite spots to drop a skeleton. He counters with Blizzard, but that's fine. Please. Do you win that? Oh, so close. Oh, shoot. Alright, whatever. We're just going to take him. Grab that, get moving. I wasn't paying attention. That's my bad. This guy will do a decent bit of damage here while he's pushing. And this gargoyle is just going to die for sure. So we don't have to worry too much about it. He's going to give me some free skeletons, and since he's doing that, we will take this opportunity to just drop someone else there. He drops Worgen. He's going to go for one of the skeletons. Oh god. I was worried for a second because my skeletons aggroed on the Worgen. They might have died, but they did not. Now this middle skeleton will continue to take the middle two chests, so we could just leave them there safely. Necromancer cleans up Harpies with no issues, and we're building an absolute army here. He's gonna Blizzard it. I hope he lives. He just barely lives because he was on the edge of it before that happened. Very nice. And I think this push just doom pushes him to the end. We will drop a Banshee here to counter whatever he might possibly still have. But at this point, it is pretty much over. We very quickly controlled the middle. Got some early chests, and then our units are very efficient at both trading as well as continuing to push without really any issues, as you guys saw right there. So one deck steamrolled. Alright, we found ourselves another game. Let's see what we're up against here. You can try and hit the switch early. Uther, perfect. A lot of you guys are probably playing as Uther decks right now, and I'm very happy to see that because I want to showcase just how well this deck generally does into Uther decks specifically. You drop Necromancer, which I'm actually a bit surprised about, but that's fine, because we should just whoop him. Oh god, I have so much money. Where'd I... Oh my god, I'm just... Sylvanas, get down there! They need you! Oh boy. That may have been a tad bit troll, but we could save this with a nice, cheeky... No, that was a terrible blizzard. It might be fine. Capturing Uther here will be huge. Oh, thank you, Sylvanas. Fantastic. And Sylvanas can help out here. Please hit the Murloc so you don't die. One more. One more. Huge. Don't let Uther die. You need him. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's okay. We will drop a Necromancer here. And then we will drop... She's just gonna die. That's unfortunate, but not much... Ooh! No, yeah, Banshee doesn't get a chance. Oh, this... I hate this unit so much. I think they're genuinely very strong. He's just gonna get my Necromancer, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Can you... Huge. I think that's a free trade. Huge. So this is the deadly Uther push that I'm sure you guys have all seen. And let me just show you how easy it is to clean up. 1 Stitches and 1 Sylvanas. Generally, you don't even need the Stitches, but we had the extra mana. Or gold, I guess. So we're going to use it anyway. We have lost... No, we didn't! Fantastic. That was the Wonder Turret. We have so much AoE here. It's completely cleared up. No issues. The push remains even, and this will just keep taking things. This is one of my preferred spots for skeletons, the ones that stick around, the mages. They kind of just hold this high ground forever, which is very, very nice. Let's see, we're going to drop a Possessed here. This may have been a mistake. Not if you take that. Huge. This is actually such a good unit. Oh, but we lost our... Wait. Did he kill the skeletons? That's sad. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. What do we want to drop here? A Blizzard right here to get the Necromancer, and this here is going to die in a moment. Dropping Murlocs on the low ground. Those might just die to you. Yeah, we're fine. This is a bit of an interesting game. Necromancer here because we're confident in this push being thwarted. And just to show how easy it's going to be, we're going to drop the Stitches here so we don't even have to take damage. Now, this is going to keep going. But we will drop one of you to stop that from dealing too much damage to us. I believe this guy's going to die first. Oh, hold on. This is such a good Blizzard location if I just had a little bit of money. Oh, too late. Be sure not to cast that by accident. Our possession didn't go on Uther, unfortunately, but that's fine. Drop this back here, drop you right there, and now we can drop this right over there on all these bad guys. Drop you a white over here. Oh, this isn't great. He's actually making a lot of money here, which is a tad bit concerning. But again, we should be able to thwart this very easily with just the Sylvanas Stitches. Please don't hit her. Oh, that's very unfortunate. At least we cap it, so we still have something to defend with. Drop you, and then we didn't even need the Blizzard there, wow. We were going to just drop a Necromancer on the side because I feel confident in defending this push. Drop a Miner here as well. Any gold advantage is worth taking. And while this is pushing, we win in overtime. Whew, that was actually a lot more tense of a game than it needed to be. I think we could have won a bit earlier, but hey, I'm not going to complain about a win. Just to showcase, again, he didn't get a chance to do the Footman Uther combo, but this deck just stands up so well against these kind of mid-range decks. Alright, let's see who our last game is going to be with this deck. I do actually kind of hope it's Maiev. so I could just showcase its weaknesses. This is just a random whatever deck, which means we're kind of just gonna stomp it, I think. Drop one of you, drop one of you. They're gonna push this down. I would like to kill this ghoul. Fantastic. Then we'll drop you here, because the ghoul is dead, and now we have a free stitches. I really wish I had skeletal mages. So our one counter in a mage is possession, which is a really good counter. Do not get me wrong. It is a very, very good counter. The one issue though is, well, not issue, but more so if we had a necromancer with it, the necromancer skeletal mages, I should say, we just counter it better. So Sylvanas also does well here. She dies, which is, you know, that's what it, oh, actually he got him, never mind. I was gonna say she dies and then drops a possession anyway, but it's fine. Even not taking it is okay. We're probably just gonna win off of this push with their stitches, which is pretty nice. But just in case, what am I saying? Just in case we don't, this is over. We're just gonna drop some skeleton warriors there, Squarmy, and free enough to clean up here. They taunted, which is even better for us because it gives us more skeletons on our necromancer. And that's just that, dude. One banshee on a 6-cost unit like stitches, and you back it up with one of your backliners and you just win off of one push. This deck is absolutely insane right now. Again, the only issue is that it just gets absolutely stomped by like Murloc, some of them, and Maiev decks. But other than that, freest wins.